It was the dead of winter in 1994 when David and his wife Claire moved into a remote cabin deep in the Alaskan wilderness. The cabin had belonged to Claire's grandfather, who had passed away the year before. Though old and isolated, the house had a sturdy build, a wood-burning stove, and enough supplies to last them the brutal winter months. The first few weeks were peaceful. The land around them was blanketed in thick, untouched snow, and the silence of the wilderness was oddly comforting. But then, something changed. One night, as David stoked the fire, he heard a faint knocking at the front door. He and Claire exchanged puzzled looks. There were no neighbors for miles, and the nearest town was an hour's drive away. David cautiously approached the door and peered through the peephole. Nothing. Just the pale glow of the moon on the empty snow. He opened the door slightly, the cold air biting his skin. No one was there. But in the snow, leading up to the doorstep, were poitouis, footprints. They weren't fresh. They were half-melted, as if someone had been standing there for hours. Yet, the snow around them was undisturbed, no tracks leading away. Around 3 a.m., David woke up to the sound of full, crunching snow. Like someone walking outside, he sat up, heart pounding, and slowly pulled back the curtain. Standing in the snow was a man. His clothes were thin, far too light for the freezing temperatures, and his morning face was blurry, as if David's mind refused to fully process what he was seeing. The figure stood perfectly still, staring up at their bedroom window. David blinked. The man was gone. In 2011, Jackson was a truck driver hauling supplies to remote towns in northern Canada. The ice roads, stretching over frozen lakes, were the only way to reach these settlements during the winter months. The night was bitterly cold, the temperature dropping to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. The road beneath him was thick ice, solid enough to support the weight of his fully loaded truck. But any mistake could send him crashing through to the freezing water below. Halfway through the journey, he noticed something strange. A dark figure standing in the middle of the road. Jackson didn't believe in ghosts, but when he checked his truck the next morning, his windshield was covered in handprints. Some large, others disturbingly small. The frost had preserved them perfectly, like ghostly imprints left behind in desperation. And on the icy glass, someone had traced the words, "You left me."